We come on this podcast every day and we talk about the problems of the average person. Like we talk about the problems that humanity is causing. But let's not forget, y'all, I want to remind everybody, the universe is trying to kill us. At all times, there's all kind of shit out there. Coronal mass ejections could knock the fucking could knock the fucking ozone off our ass. Gamma ray bursts, stray black holes, super volcanoes, the Earth's magnetic field reversing. We don't even know what the fuck that's gonna do. Massive earthquakes, the infrastructure collapsing. We could be in a supermassive black hole right now and not even know it, slowly being ripped apart. So I don't know. But I'm telling you right now, as much as I don't like Samsung, when that 57-inch comes out, I'm getting that. I just don't. If they haven't announced it yet, even though they announced it at CES, it was supposed to come out the second quarter of the year. Now they're saying the second half of the year, and it's like, I can't wait for that. Diablo's coming out. I'm gonna start streaming this week. I hope.
Cool.
Yeah, this is gonna be one of those days where like
I'm
taking. I don't have it. I don't have anything, but I plan on it, and I'm gonna. Cause see, okay, what fucked me up is I did a thing with Netflix as a Joke Radio about. It's called My Favorite Thing, and I did it with Eric Griffin. And mine was
Josh, you're recording this, right?
Correct.
Okay, good.
Mine was gaming, and it turned out great. But when we did it, it was like because Eric's a streamer, like he streams all the time, and he kept like it just all seemed very needlessly complicated, and he kept being like, "Hey, why don't we just do it how I do it instead of all of this other shit?" And it just seemed like there's a simpler way, but. I thought before I did that, I thought it would be easy for me to just get up and streaming, but now I'm more confused than I was before. I'm like, I don't know what I need and what I don't need. Like, what's extra? Do I need a separate PC? Do I need one of them? Do I need a capture card? Whatever.
Yeah, you do. I mean, I can send you some stuff. Actually, I can put together.
I'm just gonna go buy the shit today.
Okay, I mean, you might not be able to get some of the good stuff. I mean, even because where are you gonna go, like Best Buy or some shit?
Yeah, is that not a good place to go?
Yeah,
I think that's the only place to go.
They might not have what you need. Like they sell Elgato. Elgato makes like the capture cards. You only need a single capture card, so you can get like a Camlink 4K or something like that. But you're also gonna need a decent camera. Which they sell shit cameras.
You already sent me. Actually, you sent me a camera already.
Are you going to use a Logitech?
No, you sent me a Razer. You don't remember that?
Okay, you're going to use that one. No, I remember.
Is that not a good one?
That was a long time ago. No, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just they don't sell that at Best Buy.
Oh, right. But there's a Razer store out here though. I don't like Razer.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you because they all. The last time I bought a Razer thing, they tried it wants to install basically fucking malware in your computer. Like it's crazy what you got to install to use a Razer product. Whatever.
Yeah, I hate that bullshit, dude.
Anyway,
they do that because it's supposedly is supposed to keep the price down, but that's bullshit.
Oh, so they can just pop ads up when you sign in and all that shit. I'm like, I'd rather pay the price.
Yeah.
Why can't I just pay for you to not fucking bother me all the time? It's Diablo week, everybody. It's Diablo week. Ooh. I can't remember the last time. Now, listen, can it redeem Activision Blizzard's reputation? Absolutely not. No. Activision is so trash that they took away Blizzard's reputation. Now, did I pre-order this game? Yes. Does it go against my whole being? Yes. But I'm a drug addict. Diablo was the first game as an adult that fucking took my fucking soul, bro. Where it was like I literally was like losing sleep and all this shit. And this was Diablo 2. And so I played in both betas. I played the server slam, which was just an extra little beta. And I'm telling you, the joint and I think it's shaping up to be the most. I think it's the most pre-ordered game of all time.
Well,
I'm trying to see right now.
The marketing budget is astronomical. These motherfuckers got collaborations with Popeyes. I mean, I'm sorry, KFC. You go get any sandwich from KFC, you get a free something in the game. You know, and these niggas, because look, this is just whoever is the lead person on this game has managed to somehow, at least temporarily, give the illusion that they are not trying to fuck you. Of course, there's a little bit of Activision bullshit in there because they're charging full price for the game and they have Battle Pass. But there's no other bullshit that I can see. So if it stays like this, they're gonna take a lot of
money. The Battle Pass.
Say what?
Yeah.
Say what?
What do you get in the Battle Pass? What does the Battle Pass actually include for Diablo 4? Is there a vanilla? Can you play it vanilla without a Battle Pass?
Yes, and
you can. Okay.
The coins. So if you do the free Battle Pass, I believe it's free. You all you get is the coins that go towards buying the next Battle Pass, even though they admitted up front that it's not enough to pay for it 100%. I think if you play through the whole Battle Pass, you'll get like 70% of what you need to buy the next one. So, but if you purchase the Battle Pass, you get cosmetics, and I think it's just cosmetics and little extra little effects and all of that. But everything that you have to pay for is strictly cosmetic. There's no pay to win. Now, here's some other bullshit. If you are familiar with any of these people, Diablo has what they call a hardcore mode. And, without going too much into what an RPG is and what goes into, we got some lotion in this moment.
Yeah.
What goes into the game, but it's one of those games that people put hours and hours and hours and hours, like hundreds of hours into. And in hardcore mode, you only get one life. Now, this is a game where you're going to die a lot. You understand what I'm saying? In hardcore mode, you can play with a hardcore character. It's completely separate from your other character. And in hardcore, you get one life. Like if you die, it's over. It's a wrap. Like you're done. You got to start all the way over. All that shit you collected is gone. Now, there are insane fucking people out here that's what they want. Like they not going to play through the game regular. Their first thing they doing is playing the hardcore shit. Now, Blizzard has a thing going where I do not relate to these people at all, by the way. That would be too much anxiety for me. You know what I mean? To put 60 hours into a character and then die and I got to start over, fuck that. So
you don't get nothing out of it?
No. You get nothing out of it. I mean, maybe you get like an achievement or maybe you get like a cosmetic thing that say you played it. I don't know. But right. you don't get to keep the character. Over. No. No items, no progress, none of that shit. No. Actually, that's not true. Let me just say this. There are things that happen account wide in the regular game. I'm not sure if it carries over if you do it hardcore, but maybe it does. But the point is, there are streamers and influencers that have been playing the game already, right? And there's a thing in Diablo where the first 100 people to, I want to say, reach level 100 on hardcore, or it might be something else that got to beat the game or something. But the first 100 people that reach a certain level on hardcore get their name engraved on some trophy or something that's in the game, or maybe it's a real life trophy. And the problem is, so through 2 betas and a server slam, none of that character progress carries over. So people played the game, they capped you at level 25 and then level 20 through the server slam, but none of that progress goes into the game. But the streamers that got to play the game early so they could give it reviews, their progress carries over, right? And they don't have to. So my point is, there's a whole community of insane fucking hardcore players out there. They probably all love to get beat and whipped and have their nipples chained to the ceiling. But they are behind the streamers and the reviewers. And even if Blizzard decides to, or maybe they have already decided by the time you hear this, to not let the progress carry over, these guys already have mastered the layout and all of that other shit. So they have doubly the advantage. And so listen, and a lot of people are upset because they're like, well, that's not fair because people didn't get to play the game early. Whoopty whoopty whoop. Hey, listen. I thought you was a masochist, my nigga. You know what I mean? Or did I get that backwards? What is it when you like to be hurt? Is it masochism or sadism? No, sadism is when you like to hurt people. Yeah.
Sadism.
I thought you was a masochist because that's what you are. You like to be punished. Be a good boy and shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Listen, we already gave Activision Blizzard our money, so perhaps we're all masochists. You know, we know who these fucking people are. We're in an abusive relationship with Blizzard, Activision. Okay? We know who we dealing with. They apologizing again. They beat the shit out of us the last time and the time before that and the time before that, and they apologizing again. They just fucked us with Overwatch. Same company. And they already got our money. We already hooked. And I know deep in my spirit, 50 levels in, it's gonna be some bullshit. They're gonna be like, oh, it's $5 to go to level 51. I don't know. But here we are. We're here, and I'm excited. I can't wait. I got a new gaming setup. I got a new graphics card. I got a new monitor. I got a new desk coming, but none of that even matters. I would play it on my laptop if I had to, but I'm playing that shit. I took a whole day off. I never do that. I can't remember the last time I did that for a game. I'm taking a day off, and so here's the thing: hardcore guys, old head gamers out there. Remember, you're not a kid no more. You got to do certain shit to prepare for all day gaming sesh. Okay, make sure you hydrated. Okay, make sure you hydrated. Make sure you fuck the shit out of your wife or significant other the night before. Okay, fuck them real good. Take the Viagra, whatever you gotta do. Okay, because they're not gonna they're not gonna like you being in the room all day. Speaking of being in the room all day, wash your ass. Okay, wash your ass. You're not a teenager. Okay, and you can't be fuck your wife. That's gonna wear off after about 5 hours. Okay, but you can't come out that room, smelling like a Civil War triage tent. You know what I mean? Also, take breaks, rest your eyes, stretch. You got to do all these things now. You're not 18, you're not 21, or whenever the last time you did this. Okay. Go look at your brothers and sisters, your fellow gamer brothers and sisters that got hooked on the new Zelda. Go look at what happened to them in their lives. These grown ass men that are now having trouble in their marriage because of a game. Okay? Fuck your wife. Get her a spa day. Okay? And then stretch. Wash your ass. Take breaks. That's my recommendation. I'm just trying to foresee what the other problems might be, because I know
Remember
I'm not.
Your body can't process sugar anymore like it used to.
Yeah.
Don't
you know what I'm saying?
Lay off the sugar. You're gonna crash.
Get you some metformin if you can get a hold of it. Yeah. So that's what's happening for me this week. Like literally, guys. This episode comes out on Thursday. So here's the other thing people are upset about. If you pre-ordered the game, you get to play it 4 days early, which is everybody. I mean, what are we talking about here? It comes out on the 5th.
Which version did you pre-order, Brian?
The Ultimate. What you talking about? What you mean?
You got the box set?
I did not get the box set.
Or you got the...
I didn't get the box set. Yo, these niggas... if you go to the Diablo shop, they got a $1,000 statue to commemorate. Who the fuck is that for?
Dude, it's for the same. It's for the same pay pigs that pay for the super duper battle pass or whatever and want to do the hardcore and everything.
Can I keep it a buck with you? I had it in my cart. I had it in my cart. I did. Yeah, but I came to my senses. I was
Brian Simpson pay pig confirmed.
Man, you know what I did? I was like, you know what? Because I thought about. I watched this documentary a long time ago called "Examined Life," right? And they fucking go. They interview like Zizek and Cornel West, like all the major American philosophers at the time, and they each like tackle a certain subject. And I forget the guy's name. I think maybe it was Peter Singer. But he
I love Peter Singer.
He talked about he was talking about the morality of like spending your money. And he gives this whole analogy where he's talking about where he goes they're standing on whatever the street is in New York that's equivalent to like Rodeo Drive, where like all the rich people shop, like Saks Fifth Avenue or something, right? He's on that street, and he sees these like boots in a window, and they cost like, $2,000 or something, and he goes like, picture you have on these boots, right? And you walking down the way, and just off in the distance, you see a child fall in the water. It's off the beaten path. And now the water it's not deep enough to affect you at all. The child could drown, but it's not even that deep for you. But you don't have time to waste. You gotta run now. And you're gonna fuck up these boots. What do you do, right? And most people go, oh, fuck the boots. Right? I'll save the kid. And he was like, yeah, but see, you don't make that calculation when you bought the boots. Because you could still say, when you're standing in the window to buy these boots, you could say, fuck these boots and send that money to UNICEF or some other thing, So my point is, yep. I had the statue in my cart, and I was like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to send this money to my nephew. He just graduated. You know what I mean? It's like, I'd rather spend it on something, because this is a complete waste. You know what I mean? And whatever. I won the money in a bet. That's why I was like, it was burning a hole in my pocket. It wasn't money I earned, But I was like, hey, you know what? Okay. You know what? I'm not going to buy a $1,000 statue. And because here's the other side of it. One, I don't need it. Two, I don't have a place to put it. My shit's already cluttered the fuck up. Three, I don't know if y'all remember my situation with Diablo Immortal. Diablo Immortal came out, and I tweeted something very similar about Diablo 4. Diablo Immortal came out, and it was so fucking... It scratched that Diablo itch. I couldn't believe that I could play it on my phone, and it was so much fun. And I tweeted, Diablo Immortal is going to ruin my life, or something to that effect. And the Diablo Immortal marketing team got at me immediately and sent me like this whole kit with a backpack and a skateboard thing and this big metal thing. And I hung that shit up on my wall and a t-shirt. I was so hype. And then about 15 levels in, they started with the bullshit. So I got all this stuff, got excited, and then realized that these motherfuckers are evil, pure fucking evil, every mobile kind of way. I don't know if we were already with you, Josh, when this happened, but Rob remembers. And I came on the podcast livid. No, I was still in LA, and I told these motherfuckers suck my dick. So my point is, if I bought $1,000 statue and then got 20 levels into Diablo 4 and realized that it was all a scam and now they doing all of these microtransactions, I would go down to the Activision offices and hurt somebody. I would be so pissed to have this reminder that I can't throw away because it's $1,000. A reminder that I got again. Blizzard, don't do it.
What would you do if your nephew bought that? Took that money that you gave him and bought that statue?
I would tease his ass till I died. But no, because my nephew's hella responsible. But my point is, I don't. I'm just begging you, Activision, don't just leave this game alone. Don't do this to us, because I swear this would break me. This would be the last time. Like I would if this game, I would probably stop gaming for a minute. If I got again, I violated my principles for y'all. Do you understand? Like if you do this to me again, I can't handle it. Like I would lose all trust. I mean, listen. I'm already a fucking idiot. Like losing trust in the game industry, that shit happened a long time ago. I mean, every company is pretty much, immoral and unethical nowadays. They don't care about making something quality that's gonna last. Samsung, for whatever reason, the Samsung phones come out just fine for the most part. But all their other products got quality control issues. If you buy a TV or a monitor from Samsung, if it works, it's the best. But I know people that, had to go through 3 or 4 Odyssey Neo G9s, before they finally just gave up, And Lord help you if you.
Best thing.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, and this is, and I know I'm doubling back on this. If you're gonna buy a Samsung product, buy it from Best Buy with the Total Tech, because that's your only hope. If you're dealing with Samsung, I'm telling you, the customer service is 50-50. It can be excellent, or it can be like a brain dead. It's like talking to somebody with a clamp on your nuts, with your nuts in a vice. That's how I feel sometimes you talking to some of these stupid motherfuckers. So I don't say I told you to buy. I'm not telling you to get Diablo 4. But the thing is, do I even have to? Do I even have to? Because this is like to an old G gamer and young gamers alike, Diablo 4. This is like it's like money, pussy, Diablo.
Wow.
And that's how it is. And some of them, it ain't in that order. You understand what I'm saying? So, they got crack cocaine out on the streets right now. Is what I'm trying to tell y'all.
Would you say you're addicted to this game?
I would say that knowing myself, I'm going to be. Because here's the thing: they already gave me. I've played it 3 times now. I played 3 characters. I've leveled 3 characters up to level 20 or 25, knowing damn well that it don't count.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? And so I know I'm gonna play the fuck out this game. I know I am. I know it's designed to, it's designed that way. And so I had a $1,000 statue in my cart. That's all I'm trying to tell you.
Is it limited edition?
Having that statue in your house is definitely going to affect the pussy level of that 3-part.
Yeah, right. Well, is it limited edition? Anything that's $1,000 is limited edition. Ain't nobody making a bunch of $1,000 things,
In the 90s, they did with a bunch of basketball and football cards.
Yeah, but they weren't $1,000 when they came out.
No.
You get them in a random pack. All the packs cost the same. They selling this for $1,000 for some shit that ain't even out.
Best thing that I ever, I did this accidentally, but I lost my rhythm on the game release schedule and stopped being an early adopter, basically by accident, because just shit was going crazy, and it was when Arkham City came out, which Arkham City is one of the best games ever made, and I couldn't get it when it came out, and so it was a year later that I finally was able to get it, and I got, it was the Ultimate Edition was $50 or something, and it included all the DLC and all that shit, and all the bugs have been worked out, have been patched up, all that kind of stuff. So I played it, and I got the S tier experience of playing Arkham City. And after that, I was like, "Oh, I'm never buying a game when it comes out ever again."
Yeah, but
I'm just a year behind, and it's fine.
Yeah, but guess what? Guess what, Rob? The gaming industry is on to motherfuckers like you. They on to people like you.
I know.
Because now they I know. Now they that's why they hit you with the free beta. That's why they hit you with the exclusives if you join the beta, and then they hit you with another one and another one, and now it's oh well, I have to get, because also you gonna fall behind. It's stuff that only you can get in season 1 battle pass. Once the season over, you can't never get it. That's how they hit you. Oh, you want to wait till what? Because that's what I just did with Far Cry 6. In fact,
yeah.
I've never played a Far Cry game. I bought a few, and I started up, and I'm I ain't in this. But Far Cry 6, I was what, I'm finally gonna get into it. And now Ubisoft has a sale, and it's 70% off. So I was oh, let me get the whole thing. Let me get all that. And man, it's pretty goddamn fun. because the criticism of the game was it's the same formula, but I ain't never played it before, so it's all new to me, and I love it. And it got Gus Fring in it from Breaking Bad.
Oh hell yeah!
He the villain, straight up. And so I'm playing that
Future
right.
Charles Xavier.
Oh, you think so?
He might be too old now, but that was for a long time. He was a front runner to be Charles Xavier, which would have been fucking dope.
Hell yeah, or even Mr. Sinister.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he
I
could
think
play.
Javier Bardem is going to be Mr. Sinister,
Oh man, yeah.
but he's kind of old now too. These are all just people that were floated back a while back.
Anyway, our audience is probably like, "What the fuck, man? I ain't tuning in. We ain't talking about fucking video game." Okay, so first of all, welcome BS with Brian Simpson. What is this, episode 64? 65?
5.
Yeah. Okay, so first of all,
5.
if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you want advice from the advice champ, email us at bswithbriansimpson@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at 323-451-1980. If you want to come see me live, perform stand-up comedy, go to briansimpsoncomedy.com or go to one of my socials at BS Comedian and click on that linktree/Brian Simpson. And don't forget, I also host an improv stand-up show called Bottom of the Barrel at the Comedy Mothership in Austin, Texas, every Tuesday evening, 7:30 and 10:30 p.m. Speaking of being the advice champ, I was just recently on Where My Mom's At. So go check that out also on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. I always love talking to Christina P. I was also recently on Chrissy D's podcast. That just came out. So go check that out as well on YouTube or any other place that you listen to podcasts. That's Chris Stefano, for those of y'all that don't know. But I guess if you do know who that is, you do know who Chrissy D is. Anyway, we tend to nerd out a little bit, which was what the first half of this shit was. But that's what's going on. But in my life right now, I'm only thinking about Diablo, and I hope that it's awesome. God damn, y'all. If you tried it out, you'd be like, holy shit, this is the pinnacle of Diablo. They nailed it. They nailed it. I mean, they got some balancing issues and so on and so forth. But man, the graphics, the gameplay, the gameplay loop, the power fantasy, they got it down pat. They nailed it. They fucking nailed it.
You playing Sorceress?
Wish there was one more class. I was torn between playing Sorceress because I always pick Wizard, Sorcerer, those kind of players because they used to be the hardest ones. And I was like, oh, this is just more difficult, more tactical. But now it's like it's not that even. It's like one of the easiest ones because they're so powerful now. So I was like,
I heard Sorcerer is like one of the easier, if not the easiest class. At least at low levels.
I would say it's the simplest. I wouldn't say easy.
Okay.
But then I was like, let me try some other shit, because I never play like rogues, and I tried the rogue. That was pretty fucking fun. I didn't try the barbarian yet, because that's the most complex, I think. And I also tried the necromancer. That's probably the easiest, at least at first, because a lot of times you ain't got
That's backwards from a lot of tabletop stuff, because usually the spellcasters are going to be more complex.
Right.
Druid's usually pretty complex. Barbarian's pretty easy.
No, but I think I'm gonna stick with
simple.
I think I'm gonna stick with the Druid though. The Druid is like best of all the worlds. You can probably the most diverse. So I think I'm gonna stick with Druid. You got animal companions.
Turn into a goddamn werewolf.
Turn into a werewolf or werebear. You can have wolf companions. You can find a piece of gear to turn your wolf companions into werewolves. You feel me? Or you could do no transformations at all. You could go straight up nature build and control, throw out tornadoes, and you can have a storm that follows you and strikes people with lightning. I mean, the shit gets in depth, man. It's in depth. I mean, I ain't gonna tell. I'm like I said, I'm not telling you what to do with your time. I'm just telling you what I'm doing with mine. And also, my girl is not jealous of video games, okay? Because she's a normal person. Anyway, if your walls are still covered in magazine clippings, it's time to level up your artwork with Displate. Displates are high-quality metal prints that come in millions of cool designs. They're easy to hang and swap out anytime with the magnet that comes with every Displate you purchase. I have Displate. I have the shit all over my house, especially if you rent. You can't put holes in the walls. It's it's the smarter way to go. It looks good. The metal looks good. Everyone I know says they look good. It's great. No matter what you're into, there's a Displate for you. Check out their Star Wars collection or art from Alien or World of Warcraft. Get 1 or 2 Displates at 27% off and 34% off when you buy 3 or more. Discounts will be automatically applied to your cart. Use offer code BS when you visit Displate.com to get the discount. That's Displate.com, code BS, or click the link in your show notes. Gift yourself or someone you love awesome art with Displates. Let's any elephants in the room that we haven't covered. It can't be just Diablo 4. That's not the biggest thing happening in the world, is it?
Well, the other stuff that's happening is like political shit, which I'm not super interested in.
No, me neither. Okay.
Debt ceiling horse shit.
Hey, listen, long as the economy don't collapse before I reach level 100 in Diablo 4.
There's a shooting in Florida.
There's a shooting in Florida. Well, that's not surprising.
Well, that's not new.
Yeah.
Yeah, because here's the other thing. We only hear about the shootings that make the news, but there's like a dozen a day or some crazy.
Yeah, it was Memorial Day at the beach.
Mm-hmm. What a shocker. And let me guess who was the perpetrator?
Probably a Mexican Nazi.
Because those are real.
Every time.
Every single time.
9 people hurt.
And nobody died?
Including 6 adults and 3 children. Just says 9 people injured.
Imagine doing a mass shooting and not killing nobody.
I saw a lot of leg shots. Everybody had their legs bandaged.
Wow, what a fucking loser. Imagine doing a mass shooting and not killing nobody. That's crazy.
Was this an intentional mass shooting, or did something pop off and somebody just started firing? Was this a? I guess I don't really know. Firing
at people's legs? What are you, Donovan McNabb late in his career? That's not fair. I'm sorry. No, I forget. This could reach him, and I don't want to run into him in the streets. But you was throwing a lot of passes in the dirt, Donovan. When we traded for you for some reason, when you were on the downhill, I don't know what's going on. Washington football team. God damn it, the command, whatever. Anyway.
Dan Snyder's out, right? Dan Snyder's out. That's pretty awesome.
Is it official? I stopped paying attention.
It was official. Is it not official yet?
It wasn't official yet. It was like he was using people to, because I was hoping Jeff Bezos would buy it, just so we would, just so like we could combine something, get season tickets and Prime together. You know what I mean? But I think Jeff Bezos felt like, because they got some kind of beef, him and Dan Snyder, and I think Jeff Bezos just felt like, I think Jeff Bezos felt like they were using him to ramp up the price. You know what I mean?
It's always weird to me when billionaires fight, because it's like that's literally the only person who gives a shit about your life as a billionaire is another billionaire. It's like, why are y'all beefing? That's the only person who can actually be your friend, because they're the only person who doesn't need something from you.
What, billionaires?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they can't be your friend because they can't be friends. They're missing something, or maybe they got something extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you, like when I think the modern version of a billionaire is like a Genghis Khan or an Alexander, where
that's way too cool.
No. Wait a minute. What's cool about those people? They're psychopaths. They're celebrated because they won. But think about it. Like, you're king. You're king of a nation, and that's not enough for you. You want to conquer the whole world. You know what I mean? To the point where his men was about to mutiny. They was like, let us go home, motherfucker. Same thing with Caesar. Same thing with with Xerxes. It's like they just wanted more, and it wasn't even an amount. The amount didn't matter. They just wanted to dominate everything. And I think I because I'm the sort of person, and maybe I'm the outlier. There is a such thing as enough money. Some people feel like, but I've been in a room with people, and this is in Hollywood, so take it with whatever. But I've been in a room with people like, if I say that, they look at me like I'm lying. Like, you bullshit. So you got $1 billion, you don't want $1 trillion? I'm like, no. That's too, because I mean, either you're a ruthless idiot or you don't understand what capitalism is. But for you to have $1 trillion, you have to know there are many people somewhere else that are starving or suffering. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, that goes back to the Peter Singer thing that you were talking about, that the essay that he wrote, right, about famine and consumption, where if you don't buy the boots, right, then you can pay that $1,000 to like feed starving people somewhere else, right?
Right.
So multiply that by if you have $1 billion, multiply that same ethical conundrum times 1 million.
Right.
Right.
I try to do this on stage, but
I really wouldn't even want $1 billion, because that is such a devastating ethical quandary of what to do with that money.
Well, what it is I think a lot of people that are poor or are not millionaires or billionaires or whatever, I think they have this fantasy of what being that is. And when you say you want $1 billion, trillion, kajillion, because we did that when we was kids. Billion, trillion, kazillion, $1 billion, right? When you say you want that, what you're really saying is, I want to be able to do whatever I want. I want to be able to create whatever I want. I want to be able to afford to make my dreams reality. That's what you're really saying. Mm-hmm. And that's not, and those two things can be separate. You know what I mean? Like, you're really just dreaming about being free. But you have to understand, in the system we're in, only a handful of people get to do that. You know what I'm saying? And here's the funny part.
I want to make just enough money to where I can get all the stuff that I want, but not so much money that I'm a piece of shit for not saving the world.
Yeah, because look, what my real dream is that I didn't need money.
Right.
So my point is, what I'm saying is, a billionaire is a species, right? A billionaire is. Hold on a second. Jesus fucking Christ.
But wouldn't you want $1 billion if you want to do those nice things? You know what I mean? Or are you worried that you
I don't
won't
need $1 billion to do
those
those nice things?
I meant for other people. You know what I mean? Money always
you mean for
buys.
other people.
Yeah. Like you can do. I'm saying, like, if you have that $1 billion, you can always still donate half of it or whatever, or create your own foundation.
I think that but those foundations are scams.
But
those foundations are ways that people launder their. Well, but the question is then, can you actually affect? I guess that really comes down to, can you actually affect real change
in my hometown?
Even with $1 billion, I don't even know if $1 billion. Yeah, but.
You know what I mean? If you come from
your hometown,
a poor little town, and you go back and you build stuff for the people, just for your town, that helps those 30,000 people.
Mm-hmm. But that's what I'm saying is, I don't want to do that. I don't care about the people from my hometown.
Oh,
so I would feel guilty about using the $1 billion for other things.
I used to tell my father that I was going to be.
I would always.
I used to tell my father. I used to tell my father I was going to be a billionaire, and he'd always tell me to humble myself.
Yeah. Oh, so look. This is what I was caught up in the middle of. What I'm trying to say is, if you put everyone in America in a room, and you ask them, hey, would you rather have $1 trillion? And would you rather have the most money in the whole world, or would you rather nobody in the world have to work or be hungry or whatever? The people that pick the trillion, those are the people that's the billionaire species. It's like a mutation or something. It's like where they would choose being the most dominant in other people suffering over everybody being okay. Because it's not about the amount of money to them. It's about dominating. You know what I mean? So my point is, I say all that to say, a billionaire can't be your friend. They ain't even friends with each other.
That's what I'm saying.
You ever see Bill Gates and Elon just kicking it? No, they the only people in the world that can really, 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 really relate to one another, and they can't even fucking stand each other. They probably ain't never even been in the same room together, and they hate each other because they're competing. Oh, what? He's the richest man in the world now? Quick, fucking cut the warehouse workers' pay. You know, I don't know what his response.
Lions have their own pride. They don't mix prides.
They don't what?
Lions have their own pride. It's just one, dude that that's his shit. They don't mix with other prides. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but sometimes there are prides where it's like there's two brothers at the head of it or something like that. Yeah.
Winklevosses.
What you say?
Winklevoss.
The Lion King.
They're two brothers. They own Gemini, one of the biggest crypto.
The Winklevoss twins.
Yes.
Okay, well, twins are different.
That's basically it. They split one soul, so it's the same thing.
Right. Yeah, they're like. Yeah, I don't get it. You know, what's weird to me is the twins that like purposely try to like say everything at the same time and shit. That's fucking weird as fuck.
Ooh, I've never even seen that. That's
no
gross.
Yeah, some people, some twins try to like, it's like they dress alike all the time and speak alike all the time and say the same things all the time. And don't get me wrong, some twins just have that connection and it just happens. But some people try to like force it. Like you ever watch?
Who was that? Wait. Who was that? There were two couples. There was like two male twins and two female twins who got married to each other and had kids, which means that genetically, their kids are
double cousins.
Siblings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's called a double cousin.
That trips me up.
Would they
double
switch it
cousin?
up?
That's what it's actually called?
They're called double cousins, yeah.
Would they switch it up? Like, hey, you go with my wife, I'll go with your wife?
No. He's saying because it's not just with twins, but like if two brothers marry two sisters and both have kids, those kids are double cousins because they're just as related as if they were siblings because of just genetics.
No, but they're not though. No, they're not though because they're double cousins because they share the same grandparents. But they don't share the same parents. If their parents are genetically identical, so.
Oh right. But if they're if they're twins, they're even closer.
Double cousins.
Yes.
Double cousins sounds like you got a lot of chromosomes.
But they could. So I think in the genetic lottery, they are closer genetically than regular cousins.
Yes,
they're closer. Yeah. They're like between cousins and siblings. Genetically, they're close. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I guess if it's twins, it's almost. I mean, it is as if they're siblings because they literally have the same. Even then, though, they're not exactly. No, that's not true. I guess they're just as genetically related as a brother and sister would be because even though it's statistically impossible that they each receive the exact same genes from their mother and father, right?
Well, right. I mean, they're not going to be twins because they're not going to be like, okay, you have Adam and Bobby are like twins, are identical twins, and then you have Claire and Denise are identical twins, and Adam gets married to Claire, and Bobby gets married to Denise, and then they have kids.
Hey, Rob, wait a minute, Rob. Are you going to make a graphic with this? Because otherwise, you already lost everybody.
Okay. My whole point just being that
sounds like the royal family.
They're genetically they're genetically as closely related as siblings would be. But you're right. If you have like double cousins, they would be, I guess on average, they would be more closely related than first cousins, less closely related than siblings.
Right.
But it's just the twins. I'm sorry.
Actually, I would
if
say
there are any
they're
twins listening out there. You guys freak me out.
But actually, I would say then it's not directly in the middle. They're much closer to siblings than they are cousins.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, like they definitely can't fuck each other. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, depends on if they're in Florida or not.
There's no laws against. Oh yeah, you're right. Whoa. We look okay. First of all, do we have any advice champ?
We have a
voicemail,
an update. No, we have an update, and we have a Tony Rouse called in. So
okay, let's do that. Let's do that first.
Good to hear some new voices there, boys. I was a bit worried it's going to turn into the Tony from New Zealand show. I played Pac-Man once when I was a kid, but you guys can make gaming actually sound quite interesting. Even the Diablo 3. Fuck me. Get outside, boys. That restaurant sounds quite good, Brian, but you're not hanging out at the sort of places that bankers frequent, are you? You could be in a bit of trouble there with young Rob. Hey, you're right about the child labour, though. My great-granddad worked in a coal mine from the age of about 10, and my 3 nephews would play Minecraft all day if they got the chance. Kids fucking love mining, mate. We've got to send them all down there. Get some use out of the little buggers.
Yeah, I mean, children yearn for the mines.
They yearn for the mines, man. They really do. That was hilarious. Yeah, but it's weird to me because I feel like my grandfather worked in a coal mine is white people's version of like my daddy marched with Martin Luther King. It was like, all y'all motherfuckers didn't march, but they know we ain't got no way to check up on it. You know what I'm saying? Every white dude's grandfather worked in the coal mines. I'm like, no, they didn't. Nigga. It wasn't that many coal mining jobs. Come on. Your daddy died of consumption, not the black lung. Your granddaddy died from untreated syphilis.
I always loved when people would do like past life regression therapy or whatever, and everybody's always a king or a queen or a great scientist.
Right,
and it's like, no, 99.9% of them were fucking farmers.
Like, wouldn't it be crazy if you look, if that was real and you could look back at your past life and you're like, oh, I was a rapist. That'd be crazy if you were just a horrible person. Oh shit, I was Jack the Ripper.
All the way back, just like you're like, oh, let's go back one more. Let's just go back one more. And it's like, oh fuck, it's just getting worse. It's getting worse and worse.
Oh man, see, man, I feel bad about magical thinking. Oh man, it's so because nowadays it's so easy to fool people, and it's way easier to fool people nowadays, and it's harder than ever to convince someone that they've been fooled. Like, people are so sure of themselves, even with no expertise. Because so sometimes now I'll hear somebody say something that they think is a fact or whatever, and I just feel sorry for them. Like their inability to actually zoom out and look at their own beliefs objectively. Because most people, they don't even consider that they could be wrong. You know what I mean? There's no information you could give them that would make them change their mind. Because so before, like I know I've said this before, but before I get into it before I start arguing about something, I go, wait a minute, I was like, what would change your mind? And usually they go nothing. And if you say that to me, then I'm done talking to you. Like, because what's the point? You just told me that no matter what I say, no matter what I show you, I could roll up on you and put a microscope like this, and you would still not believe it. I could have every expert in the field explain it to you and verify with you, and you go, it's a conspiracy. They all paid off. You know what I mean? So
Brian, I have a question.
What?
What could convince you that the Earth is flat? What could convince you that the Earth is not round, I guess, is a better way to say that.
Well, technically, the Earth is an
Oblate
oblong
spheroid.
spheroid.
I just said I already snuck it in there, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to see it. I mean, so far there's zero evidence that the Earth is not
Sure.
spherical in nature, right? Like I would just have to see. Let me see a few photos. Let me see a photo from the space station. Let me go up to the upper atmosphere. Like let me see anything to that nature. You know,
That's actually one of the funniest interviews I've ever seen. There's an interview with an Australian woman who's like one of these flat Earth conspiracy theorists, and the interviewer's asking her, like, okay, so we see all these photos though from NASA, and she's like, oh, those are CGI and those are paintings, and he goes, okay, well, where are your paintings and photographs and CGI? Why can't you produce them that look as good as this, that where the Earth looks flat? And she's like, well, we're not trying to produce them and everything. He's like, well, okay, but you're not even giving us the opposite, the counterbalance to what you're saying is fake evidence from them.
I mean, flat earthers are they are the perfect example of someone that will believe something with nothing. Because it isn't. I just read something about like conspiratorial thinking, and how it's like a disorder. Because every time you believe something without evidence, it becomes easier for you to believe something without evidence. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to be real careful because the way you process things changes every time you believe some bullshit with no proof, right? Which is why starting out with religion is kind of tough on people.
Have you heard the new flat earther? It goes even deeper. So the Earth is flat and round. And the way they do that is our world, there's the ice wall around it, and it's flat, but it's on a bigger Earth, and there's more continents on this sphere, but they keep us all in this little zoo with an ice wall around us. So that's the new conspiracy. Right.
And so what, my God. And that's the thing.
Well, that's why it's the funnest thing in the world is go to, like, you see people that go to the flat Earth conspiracy conventions, and they just ask, what's past the ice wall? And then they watch everybody argue about that at the convention. Because they all agree the Earth's flat and that there's an ice wall around it, but they don't agree what's beyond the ice wall.
We all know what's past the ice wall. The White Walkers.
Mm-hmm. True.
The Wildlings. Jon Snow and them. I wish all these niggas would join the Night's Watch and leave the rest of us alone. I mean,
I don't see a lot of flat Earth stuff anymore. I think they all became QAnon.
Well, and anti-vax and all this other stuff. Yeah. Because I told you the people that don't believe the conspiracy about the COVID vaccine and all that. It's like I give them a leeway because again, like the government lies and they've been lying to us for a long time. And it's like, but the anti-vax movement has existed since vaccines. And those people trying to latch on to, because we were told a lot of lies about the COVID and the vaccines and stuff like that. But the people that this whole time have doubted vaccines in general, they trying to like latch on to that and be like, and none of it's real. None of them, and it's like, no, nigga, listen, there's a reason nobody gets diphtheria anymore. When last time you heard that word? Last time you heard diphtheria or whooping cough?
The other day, because I had to go get a Tdap before my wife gives birth.
There you go. You ever, because when I was little, if you cough like this, grandma was getting up, no matter what time of night it was, she was getting up, she was microwaving some castor oil and making you drink it. Because whooping cough could kill a motherfucker. So I was like, what's that? I mean, it wasn't just if you coughed, it was how you coughed. And if you had whooping cough, you couldn't lie about it. If you, it sounded like a train. People was, Anyway, I don't know. Because now I guess we at the point where truth is so obscured. Like it's impossible for most people to tell what's true and what isn't true. So it all boils down to what you know and who you believe.
Well, that brings us right to an article that I would love to get your opinion on, Brian.
What's that?
It's the U.S. lawyer admits to using AI for case research. So, U.S. lawyer used...
Where the fuck is that?
It's in the Trello. It's the third from the bottom on the Trello.
Well, didn't we see something about this before? I
don't think...
No, we saw this where it's a dude, they tested it out where they were going to have it was like a traffic ticket, and the guy was going to, he was going to have like an earpiece, but they stopped it.
Yeah, that was a different thing. This guy actually is a lawyer who he might be disbarred now, but he used ChatGPT to quote unquote do his research, and he actually submitted documentation to the court where his argument included fake citations because ChatGPT just hallucinated these fake court cases, and it's showing how difficult this is going to be where, these large language models can produce believable sounding citations to scientific papers, to news articles, to court cases, etc., that are now going to start showing up in probably academic research and in court and everything. And I mean, and this guy's going to get in trouble. This guy's in trouble, but we're not going to stop this. It's going to become exponentially more difficult to determine the accuracy of even the...
Hey, ChatGPT, give me a subscription. Give me a
basic research.
Give me a prescription for Adderall. So prescribe me some Molly and psilocybin and Adderall. We'll go out with a bang. Yeah. Well, this lawyer's a fucking idiot. Because I would be mad that listen, using ChatGPT to do research is one thing, but letting the motherfucker write your argument, are you out of your fucking mind? And you don't even check it?
You can't even use it for research.
No?
You can't even use it for research because it just makes stuff up.
But
it'll
can't you tell it to go search and find the legal cases? Oh, so here's my other thing.
Yeah, but it'll make them up. Yeah.
Here's my other thing. Rob's a lawyer, everyone, in case y'all don't know that. Okay? Not a very good one, because he's doing this.
Correct.
No, I'm kidding. Why did you stop law? Were you like disillusioned? No, that's a whole other thing. Okay, so
yeah.
No, you haven't stopped law.
I haven't stopped law, but I don't go to court. I don't practice in court.
Right, but you still do legal services.
Yeah, I work for immigrant defenders out here in LA, which is like a immigration.
Wow. Defending criminals. Okay, so no, I'm just kidding. Okay. No. So
Brian, I work with unaccompanied alien children.
Thank you. Criminals, like I said.
I'm a good person. I'm a good person.
ChatGPT uses lawyer admits using AI. Okay. So what point was I trying to make? I got lost.
You had a question. You probably had a question about legal research or something having to do with ChatGPT. Why a lawyer would use this?
No. Oh no. What I was going to ask is, when lawyers are doing legal research, right? So I'm guessing there is a record of every legal decision ever, right? Somewhere, like in these law libraries, right?
Pretty much, yeah. There's Westlaw and there's LexisNexis are the two big ones.
Or maybe they do, like they only keep the prominent cases about certain issues, or do they keep every single one?
Pretty much everything that's, there's some stuff that's not public, but anything that's going to be an appellate decision.
Okay, so
right, is going to be on, yeah.
So these used to be in books, like physical libraries, right? And now it's all digital.
Yes.
So who made it digital? Who did that? Did they hire a bunch of slaves or interns or whatever to type out, like put everything online? Or what do they scan all the pages?
They did both. They basically digitized the same way you would digitize like any library. They digitized the law library.
All right.
So they paid people slave wages to.
So why can't you point
transfer them.
ChatGPT at the online law library and have it find every reference to your case? You can't do that?
You can. There are like. So one of the things is like LexisNexis and Westlaw, and then there's also Pacer, which is just like it's like the actual like federal court cases and stuff like that are a lot of them are still active. They have really shitty systems for searching them.
Really shitty systems?
So they're. Yeah, I mean, it's like trying to use. Remember when you used to have to like have Boolean operators and shit like that to search Google?
Right.
You'd have to say like you put quotes and plus and minus stuff like that. You still have to do that to a large degree with LexisNexis and Westlaw.
See, this is what makes me.
There's some gap.
This is why I'm so disillusioned with the United States right now. Because this is what I was trying to explain to everybody before, and this is just from my little bit of time working at the Pentagon. I was there for like close to 2 years, maybe a little less or a little more. But my point is just like you would be astonished at how technologically behind the U.S. government is. And I'm talking about everybody, the FBI, the CIA. I mean, I ain't never been in the FBI or the CIA, but I would venture to guess they're behind. They are behind because it's like... It's like there's so much bureaucracy and red tape. You know what I mean? Like we were literally using Windows XP.
It's also lack of funding.
Yeah, when Windows 8 was out, we was using Windows XP. You know what I'm saying? Which is great. Windows XP was great. But I just mean it's like they're so far behind sometimes. Not on everything, but like the stuff that kills people, we top notch. We top of the line. We got the latest jets, the latest bombs, the latest tank, everything. But
if you want to drone a wedding in Yemen,
but
we got top of the line.
But my nigga, you might, if you go to the library in the Pentagon, you might be looking at, you might have to be using the Dewey Decimal System. I don't know what, you might like
microfiche.
Like I wouldn't be surprised at all because I think the average U.S. citizen assumes that the U.S. government is on top of shit. You know what I mean? And I guarantee you they aren't. Like in terms of technology, they surpass everything because they should. Because all the best hackers in the United States should be working for the government, and they don't. All the best hackers in Russia work for the government. All the best hackers in China work for the government. Over here, it's just simply not the case. And so it's like I don't know, man. I feel like. Like you would think that you would walk in the Pentagon and there would be like, AI face scanning and you would think there would be androids go welcome, like you would think like it would just be the technological center of the nope. Well, go if you ever take a tour of the White House today. It looked the same as it did in 1992. And I bet you they used all the same stuff. Because I'm going to tell you what happens. This is what happens. Is when you have government bureaucracies the way we have set up, what happens is, you know what, let me talk about something I can talk about more from a personal perspective. The VA. The last time I had to go to the hospital in the VA, this was like maybe 6-7 years ago. And it was time for me to check out the hospital. They gave me a printout on, like, you remember those old printers that had the holes, the perforated holes on the side? They would go, They gave me a printout on one of those. You understand what I'm saying? Like, the systems they're using is like MS-DOS, like old, as old as possible. And I'm gonna tell you what happens. What happens is the people in places of power, not the top upper echelon. They get changed out all the time. The middle people, the people that never get fired, no matter how much the VA gets overhauled and blah, 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 the people that know the systems in and out, right? It behooves them to keep the system that they have mastered. Because if they allow things to update, they become obsolete. You know what I'm saying? If the whole government switched over to Windows 11, then guess what? There's some kid somewhere that's already better than you. That's cheaper than you. You know what I mean? If the whole government switched, if everybody had a modern printer, you know, that's why everything up there is so fucking complicated. It's like, bro, you know how many times I've walked up to a counter at the VA and they like, you know, because they ask you the same question all the time. They go, last name, first and last name, last four of your social. And you know how many times I've seen somebody, bro, it's no different than like you ever check in on a flight? And like I've never seen those computers, but can't you just see it? You're like, what is taking so motherfucking long? First name, last name, so same thing. Like, bro, you know how many times like I've gone, even Best Buy does this. I've gone to Best Buy. I used to have a bit about this, but just the Best Buy, they sell the latest technology, but they don't use it. Go peek at the computer they're using when you check out at the Best Buy. It will blow your fucking mind. You know what I mean? Go over here. You go to HEB. They don't have HEB in California, but they do have like Ralph's or one of those Walgreens, one of the major grocery stores. Guess what they don't have? Tap to pay. HEB, the biggest grocery store out here, you can't tap to pay. I had to go to that bitch last night because I had to buy some emergency wet cat food because my cat would she was like, the bitch is crazy. Like when she wants something, like she won't stop being annoying. Like she'll start breaking shit, tipping shit over to you. And I realized like, oh, she got out of wet. So anyway, I had to go to HEB and get something. And I have never been in there before. And I walk in there, I get to the front, I'm like, and me, I was like, I'm so used to tap to pay, I don't even carry my wallet with me sometimes, like most of the time. I only take my wallet, I only leave the house with my wallet if I know that I need something that's in it, you know? So I get up there and I'm like, you know, she's like, la, 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 and I go to tap, she's like, oh yeah, we don't do that. I'm like, what you mean you don't do that? You don't tap? And obviously, it's not up to the cashier to you know, I'm not gonna argue shit. That wasn't her decision. But it's like, that's wild to me. Like, it's crazy. You know what's funny is they literally sell the little cheap burner phones that you can tap to pay with, but you can't tap to pay to buy it. You know, so what I'm saying is, there's some old motherfucker where the old system benefits them, and they don't let it change because they're afraid that they won't be needed no more. So they keep it the same, you know. And you know, every time they talk about overhauling the VA, they're not gonna do it. Because a real overhaul would be, hey, modernize that motherfucker. Why doesn't the VA have? Okay, the VA does kind of have an app, but it's really like 3 or 4 apps. Like it's 3 or 4 apps. It's 3 or 4 websites. You go to sign into one, it tells you need to go to the other. You click on that shit. You got to sign back in again, and it's a different password for you to make like. Just the medical shit, it's a different website for you to make an appointment than it is for you to reorder your prescriptions. You know? It's like...
Yeah, that points to like a bigger problem. Like, for instance, in Louisiana, I know they recently instituted this like digital ID law where now you get like you get on your phone or whatever, you get like a digital ID, but you still have to keep your physical ID with you. And... the reason why is because the digital ID is not reliable enough for you to rely on it.
Oh yeah.
So now, instead of having like this digital ID that makes things more streamlined, easier to control, yada yada yada, now Louisiana has to maintain 2 simultaneous ID systems.
And you know why?
Where now they have.
You know what the real reason is corruption. Whatever
somebody got paid $1 billion to make the system for the fucking digital ID.
And whatever company used to make all the IDs, you know, they're not trying to lose out either. And the only way they was gonna let that digital ID law pass is if they wrote in that they wouldn't give up on the other one, because that's money, somebody making money. You know,
now, I will say this in defense for the low tech solution is that the low tech solutions continue to work forever. Like, law firms still use fax machines, and one of the reasons why is like, and they maintain
because they want to torture us. That's why.
Well, no, it's because paper, like the paper files don't, like, the format doesn't sunset. You don't require a for-profit company to maintain the file format.
Nah, Rob. I'm gonna have to push all the way back on this fax machine shit.
Sure.
Because
let's go
listen,
for it.
fax machines are the number one way you know a company doesn't care if you live or die. Okay? They don't give a fuck about your sanity. What the fuck is a fax machine? It's just a way to frustrate the customer. It's like paper wall on top of fax machine means fuck you. And what I mean by that is paper wall is what like insurance companies do. A lot of companies do it though, but they make it so, or like a perfect example is these evil fucking gyms that where you ever try to cancel a gym membership? Because I told you this before.
Oh, yeah, I'm not talking about that.
But what I'm saying is they'll have it so you have to mail them something. Certified mail, notarized, like it's just a way to make it more difficult for you to deal with shit because yeah, sure, paper shit lasts, but you can print some shit out. Requiring me to fax a thing, because okay, let me change this up. Companies that use fax machines is fine, like internally or whatever. Me having the option to fax you something is fine, but you requiring me to fax something is crazy. It's crazy. That's right. That's right next to smoke signals.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I'm talking about the reason why I bring up the law firms is because the law firms are sending paper copies through the fax to like the courthouse, for instance, or receiving paper copies. And the idea is that you maintain the paper trail because paper doesn't, I mean, obviously like, a office can burn down or something like that, or somebody can destroy physical records. Yes. But you maintain paper records because there's never going to be a compatibility issue between two different systems when you're using paper. There's never going to be, now obviously there's limitations to paper, like search functions are not as fast, obviously, with paper.
Yeah, but you can print out stuff. Why does the fax machine necessary to have a paper trail? Why you can't you just?
It's not necessary to have a paper trail. It's not necessary to have a paper trail, but like think about how old the people are. Like think of how old judges and politicians are.
But that's
their
my whole
inability to even use fucking email.
That's my whole point. The people that are making decisions about our lives don't understand anything. The same people that can't drive run the world. But look, remember Ruth Bader Ginsburg? Mm-hmm. Remember Ruth Bader Ginsburg? Oh, yep. Our fellow lefties love this bitch. She was literally dying. She was dying.
We're dealing with the same thing with Dianne Feinstein.
Yeah,
same thing is happening right now with Dianne
Feinstein is literally falling apart. The next time she speak on the floor, if her jaw fell off, nobody would be like, what the fuck was that? Everybody would be like, yep, saw it coming. And they're allowed to run what? Give it up, ho. I would rather it be a Republican than you. Ugh, that makes me sick. I'd rather it be anyone but you.
Elder abuse.
Yeah, you're falling apart. How are you making decisions for everybody else? You know what I'm saying? How are you making decisions for everybody else? Listen, I love my mama to death. I don't want her to be president. You know what I'm saying? Give me somebody with some vim and vigor. Give me somebody that got some skin in the game. Because here's my problem with the lifetime appointments. I think there should be a maximum age, is what I'm trying to say. Because once you hit a certain age, you are no longer affected by the decisions that you're making for the whole country. You don't have to stick around. That's why we don't. That's why these old motherfuckers decided, fuck it. Fuck this surplus. We're gonna spend it all. Because we ain't here for that long.
Yep.
Yeah, they don't gotta worry about what the fuck. What you mean the economy? Fuck the economy. What you mean our grandchildren? Fuck them. They'll figure it out. But I'm gonna make sure me and my friends
their grandchildren
rich.
will be fine.
Well, yeah, their
grandchildren will be fine.
Maybe not. Because here's the problem, right, with the neocons and or whatever the fuck they are. Because I don't know what their real game is, but I do know that the super rich people that manipulate things so that they stay super rich are at odds with the people that manipulate things so that they get richer and richer and richer. Like the greedy people, right? Because if you push too far, which, you know, because this is what happens with every empire, right? Is every major empire's collapse involved inflation and poor distribution of wealth, right? So what I'm saying is, you know, money only has value because we all agree that it does, and we all only agree with that because of the possibility that we all will have a little, right? It's like the average person is like, I'm okay with you having $1 billion so long as I got 1,000 or 100, right? But as soon as we get to the point where so few people have so much of the money that it's useless to everybody, you understand what I'm saying? Then we'll just, what I'm trying to say is, if the greedy people push it too far, then the money will lose what it means. Because people will just be like, oh, that doesn't mean shit now. It would be like, you ever play the Fallout games? You ever play any of the Fallout video games? So the Fallout video games, like the premise of the game is like it's nuclear fallout. Like it was a nuclear war, and everybody was stayed in bunkers until it was safe or kind of safe to go out, and then you leave the bunker, and it's like it's a different world now. And guess what? You find cash all over the place in this game, but no, it's useless. Baby. Bottle caps are the currency. Like literally, you could find $1 million American in this game, and it don't mean shit.
That's Venezuela right now. There's money in the streets, right? Literally.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, and if we get to because that's where we're at. Right, that's what's going on right now. We're pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, and eventually it's going to get to the point where like the dollar will collapse and it won't mean anything. So it's coming from the very people that want to make sure they have the most. They want to make sure they have the most money, and their attempts to make sure they have the most money are going to make money not mean shit. That's just my theory. And so I've given up on the youth and the grandchildren. I mean, I think it's a wrap. I think maybe this is the last generation. You know what I'm saying? Rob obviously feels differently. He's having a baby. But I'm like, okay, so maybe your kids.
Josh has a kid?
Yeah, 2.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I think y'all are stupid for this. I'm gonna be wrong. I might be wrong because I'm wrong a lot. I'm very wrong a lot. Maybe, you're not stupid because you're gambling, and maybe your kids, maybe your grandkids are fucked. No, let's be honest. Your kids got a shot. It's a shot we could fix it all. Your grandkids, they're done for. Because even if because we just talking about the economy, we ain't talking about the environment, which is probably more important, I guess, because if the economy collapses, it's like, damn, and then you some kind of survivalist, but the water's like irradiated. It's like I don't even know where to start.
That is just Fallout.
Yeah, and then my existential fears, because I know I bring it up a lot, but it's like we come on this podcast every day and we talk about the problems of the average person. Like we talk about the problems that humanity is causing. But let's not forget, y'all, I want to remind everybody, the universe is trying to kill us. At all times, there's all kind of shit out there. Coronal mass ejections could knock the fucking could knock the fucking ozone off our ass. Gamma ray bursts, stray black holes, super volcanoes, the Earth's magnetic field reversing. We don't even know what the fuck that's gonna do. Massive earthquakes, the infrastructure collapsing. We could be in a supermassive black hole right now and not even know it, slowly being ripped apart. So I don't know. And on top of that, we can't even keep the water clean. We got the technology. We just can't do it. We can't stop making the earth, because Neil deGrasse Tyson said something very, very poignant to me. He said it to Joe Rogan, I believe. But they were talking about terraforming Mars or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And he said something that I will never forget. He said, what's the point of doing that? Because if we had the technology to turn Mars from uninhabitable to habitable, then why don't we have the technology to fix Earth? right? Because Earth's already most of the way there.
That is the correct take.
Because you want to get away from the rest of the
Well,
humanity.
if you,
Well, I agree with that. I agree with that.
I mean, if you look back in like the 1950s and 60s, all the sci-fi was there were bubble cities at the bottom of the ocean, and there were installations in Antarctica, and we didn't do either of those things, and that's way easier than going to Mars.
Bubble cities at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
I like how you have no hope for humanity, but you're hoping Activision doesn't fuck you over.
Yeah, but that's a short-term goal. That's a short-term hope, you know? And here's the thing. I know Activision's going to fuck me over. I know they are. But in the meantime, I'm just going to have some sweet, sweet fun. And I predict, mark this and just save this clip for 6 months from now, Rob, because I know they're going to do some fuck shit. I know they are. Because can we pull up the picture of the CEO of Activision?
Bobby Kotick?
Yeah. Let's pull up a picture of old Bobby. Old Bobby. Old Bobby too. Where is it? Oh, I can pull it up right here.
Kotick.
Yeah,
I got it right here.
Okay, yeah. Does Bobby Kotick does he not look like a fucking supervillain? I mean, Bobby Kotick is doesn't he look like the sort of guy that would just be happy to watch you drown? He looks the kind of person that would rape you with a smile on his face. Like this guy, this is the same person that's responsible for all the evil shit that Activision has ever done. Like, but what's crazy? I remember there was a time where Activision had a good reputation. Right? And Bobby Kotick has taken it from, and then they bought Blizzard. Now, our only hope, and this is so fucking crazy for me to say, our only hope is that Microsoft gets to buy. Microsoft is trying to buy Blizzard Activision. That's our only hope, which is wild. And which means
how would that even help?
Because Microsoft, much like Google, has now shifted from, like, they don't need to necessarily make a profit from the games. They are there to collect your data and spy on you. So.
Yeah, but Microsoft still charges you $100 a year to have Microsoft Word.
Well, it's because savvy folks know how to steal it.
Which that's the ultimate fuck shit.
Yeah, Office not being free is crazy, but Google Docs is free, and so I think they're looking at it as like, yeah, I don't know what they're doing, But my point is they don't necessarily need to make a profit from the gaming. Like, much like Google. Like, Google still charges.
Need has never stopped them.
I know, but
lack of need.
But what I'm saying is, Activision makes decisions where it's like they're desperate to make a profit. Microsoft's going to still make a profit, but I don't think they're going to do all of the little fuck shit that Activision does. Because they are big on, I think, like, reputation. Activision don't give a fuck about his reputation. They'll fuck you to your face. You know what I'm saying? They'll rape you with the lights on. This, and I think Microsoft, they still good at. Because here's the thing, Rob. I'm not worried about being fucked. I want you to plan it out to the point where, like, at least try to dress it up a little bit, make it romantic. Like every company is fucking you. But, like, for example, T-Mobile is fucking me somehow. But I don't feel fucked. If I look into it too hard, I know I'm being fucked. But I don't feel fucked because they make me feel like they're trying their best, even though they aren't. They're evil just like everybody else. Same thing, like, for example, From Software.
You don't mind getting fucked. You just want them to be generous with the lube.
Yeah. Like, at least dress it up like, it's like being cheated on. It's like, if you're gonna cheat on me, at least don't let me catch the bitch. You know what I'm saying? Don't let me catch you. like don't like cheat on me with some thought. You know, lie. Tell me an intelligent lie. Don't lie to me like I'm stupid, or don't do it in front of my face
Right.
like you don't even bother. Like Activision, they don't even bother to lie. You know, they'll just cheat on you in front of your face and go, "What you gonna do about it?"
Because that's how good the dick is.
Yeah,
Lie to me, but don't
right.
insult my intelligence.
Right, but Microsoft will be like, "No, we would never." We would never. Microsoft is the cheater that has like a whole family that lives across town. You know, those kids go to different schools and everything, like an elaborate joint. You know, and Activision's that person
That's
that'll like
wild.
they fucking your sister and your mama and every hoe in your family. I mean, and taking pictures with it and posting it. You know, so I don't know. Maybe I'm just a man can dream, Rob. Why you always shitting on my dreams?
That's what I'm here for.
I feel like I wish I knew that poem from Equilibrium. You know what I'm talking about? So, remember the guy that played Equilibrium, Christian Bale and
Sean Bean?
Sean Bean. And you remember they sitting in the back of the car and he reads his poems about like don't tread on my dreams.
Yes. Had I the heavens embroidered cloths and wrought with golden and silver light, the blue and the dim and the dark cloths of night and light and the half-light, I would spread the cloths under your feet. But I, being poor, have only my dreams. I have spread my dreams under your feet.
Tread softly because you tread on my dreams. Rob. Every time I dream about a better world, Rob just shits on it.
Like you said, that's what he's there for.
Yeah. Actually, I guess it's
tread upon your dreams.
I guess it's me that thinks the world is not worth saving, but all
Yeah,
right.
I love how you're like, look, the world's doomed, but Microsoft will save it.
I know, what a fucking stupid thing to say.
That's the most cucked thing I've ever heard.
All right. Well, all right, one more article, then we can get up out of here, right? Or are we over time? Let me see.
We got time for one short one. Let's do something nice. Let's do
the $100 million jewelry heist. Or strippers unionize.
I love that one.
Yeah, let's do that one. Bang, bang, bang. Okay. There's something I really wanted to talk about now, and I can't remember. I've been trying for 2 hours to remember what it is.
Was it the Target thing?
What happened with Target?
They lost like $9 million because of the clothing line they tried to put out for LGBTQI.
Oh, yeah, fuck those. Look, man. Because I commented on, I forget who posted about it. I think it was D.O. Hughley or whatever. But look, mind your business. Why are you so concerned about how other people live? Because I'm going to tell you whatever. I'm going to tell you what else happens out here. It's a lot of these people that want attention, and they'll go in, like one lady, the video he posted, a lady went in and picked up some clothes that were for adults and tried to act like she was in the children's section of talk. Like people will lie for clout and shit. Like you know those people that would, like during the pandemic, that would go into a store without a mask on and then have somebody filming them so they could act persecuted and shit. It's like, look, man, because here's my thing. I don't even have a problem with these people, in and of themselves. I have a problem with the fact that you're not operating from a place of honesty. It's like everybody want to be homophobic without just saying that. You know what I mean? They want to go, right. I don't hate anyone, but I mean my kids. Fuck your kids. Fuck your kids. People always use their kids to try to control adults. I hate that shit. You don't give a fuck about kids. Just say you hate gay people. Just say that faggot shit make you uncomfortable. Because then we can have a real discussion. But you out here trying to act like you protecting kids. You don't got to buy the clothes, bitch. Even if even if the clothes was for kids, who gives a fuck? Some other adult can choose to buy those clothes for their kids. They ain't got nothing to do with you. You don't want nobody coming to your house telling you how to raise your kids. As long as you ain't beating them or fucking them, it ain't nobody else's business what you doing to your kids. Or starving them. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's like, stop, mind your business. Just say you hate gay people and go on about your business. Because if you want to talk to me about it, then we can talk about it. But if you start talking about the kids, I ain't listening to what the fuck you got to say. That's bullshit. You don't give a fuck about no kids. Come on now. All of a sudden you care about other people's kids. Not enough to give them, public assistance or make sure they eat school lunch or make sure they got, a safe shelter and Make sure they got equal opportunities, but only so they ain't in no faggot shit. That's what you concerned about. Just say that. God, this shit burns me up. Anyway, we're going to waste our time talking about something negative. Okay. Dancers at North Hollywood bar become only unionized strippers in U.S. after 15-month battle. Listen, I'm happy that the strippers are unionized, but that may be the funniest headline I've ever read in my life. Because I can't imagine. Did they go on strike? Like did they just stand outside the bar with their clothes on? We will stay fully clothed. Or did they just go up in burqas? Go up on stage? Okay. I'm sorry. Was it burqas? Or hijabs?
I'm not sure.
Naqib.
Yeah, they just go up on stage just fully dressed. Okay.
I can't remember the difference between burqa, hijab, and naqib. They're like three different things.
The Actors Equity Association labor union says owners of the Star Garden topless dive bar in North Hollywood have withdrawn their opposition and agreed to recognize the strippers union. For 15 months, dancers at the club have sought safer workplace conditions, better pay, and health insurance, among other benefits. But their unionization drive was stalled by objections and legal challenges from the club's management. The union announced this week that management had agreed to a settlement. A formal vote count by the National Labor Relations Board was held on Thursday. We're hoping that we've done to unionize this club will have laid the groundwork for any other stripper in the country who decides that they want to also have a voice in the way their workplaces run. Jeff Bezos! The hoes have a union. People that work in your warehouse are less protected than strippers. Now listen, I don't mean to denigrate strippers, okay? I love the hoes. I love people that look, if I could make money from shaking my ass, I would totally do it. Okay? But you know what I'm trying to say. Getting naked is one of the easiest things to do for money. You know, for women anyway. And so that's seen as, you know, they're not lower life forms, but it's like that's a less respected profession is what I'm trying to say. You know? You know, and listen, and don't come at me with sex work is where work. Look, sure, but you can barely toss strippers into the sex work category, okay? It's a whole different thing than letting somebody in one of your holes. Yeah, that's work. But you understand what I'm saying? But showing your titties while you serving drinks is not. I mean, that's still work. But come on, you can't lump them in all together with sex work. Okay, sex workers are workers the same way people that play what's that, curling?
Overwatch are athletes.
Yeah. The way gamers are athletes are the same way that sex workers are workers. Sure, it's work.
They 100% are. It's
work, and it can be hard work and all that, but you know what I'm trying to say. There's a distinction. Okay? So my point is, I mean, okay. You know what? I'm gonna back off this argument because I don't want the blowback. Because I don't care enough about it to know enough about it to make the argument I'm trying to make. But I'll say this: strippers and titty bar waitresses are workers, but within the sex work category, they at the bottom. Can we say that?
They're at the bottom.
High price escorts are at the very top. You know, then you got your online hoes. Then you got your streetwalkers. Actually, streetwalkers will probably, whatever. We have to come up with a whole ranking system, and I'm sure
I'm not sure what we're ranking.
Yeah, S tier. Okay, never mind. My point is, my point is, these ain't S class hoes.
A sex worker tier list.
Yeah, but what I will say is, if strippers can unionize, why can't Amazon workers? That's all I'm trying to say. Why can't Walmart workers? Jeff Bezos? I didn't mean to make this about you. I love you, buddy. I haven't canceled my Prime, so I'm kind of a hypocrite. I use your services way too much. I have your credit card. They won't raise my limit for some reason, even though I'm very successful. My Amazon card is because every other credit card I have, every so often they just raise my limit. Because your boy ain't never missed a payment, isn't it? And listen, I'm not bragging. This started a long time ago. Because my whole life I didn't give a fuck about my credit. Then I got a secured credit card. I'm not gonna say from who because I ain't gonna big them up. But a secured credit card is basically you make a deposit of like $100 or $200, and they use that as collateral in case you default. So you use your credit card and you pay it off, and whenever you can't, they take it out of that deposit. But they report to your credit that you paid it fine, so you build your credit, right? But it's really your money. And I did that for a long time, and then, boom, flipped that, got an Amazon card. And it started out real low. Boom, got the Delta card because I started flying all the way. Now, and what I'm saying is, every one of those cards is like triple or quadruple whatever I started out with, the limit. But my Amazon card, I think they started me off with like a $1,200 limit, and now my limit is like $1,500 after like 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Which is wild. That's significantly lower than the limit on anything else I have, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, I still have all your stuff.
Starting limit on a lot of cards.
Yeah, I still have your card, Jeff. I use Prime. I watch the TV shows. The Peripheral got a little weird, but I'm still around for that. But come on, you're a trillionaire. Let these niggas unionize. What's the issue? You know, strippers, Jeff. Strippers are better taken care of than your workers. And not even, like I said, not even S-tier strippers. These are bitches that just take their titties out at a bar. They not shaking their ass, they not showing puss, they not doing lap dances. It's just a bar where you can see some titties, which I think is a great idea, actually, now that I think about it. Huh.
I think they do dance at this place.
Do they?
I think there's dancing. I don't think it's just, yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm not going to say this is a nice place. It's called the Star Garden Topless Dive Bar. That's in the name.
Yeah, dive bars in the name, topless is in the name.
I might have to go to North Hollywood.
I'm gonna do topless chicken wings. Topless sports bar.
There's some good chicken wings at
strip clubs.
At strip clubs, yeah. Topless sports bar is a really good idea, actually.
Yeah, man, I'm full of these. Yeah, titties, along with losses, they go together. Titties go with wins and losses.
Yeah, it looks like a strip club inside.
And all the sauces.
And they have a 2.6 rating on Google.
Well, that's tough. Yeah, but that's probably because the strippers probably tanked it. They were like, we're not gonna be sexy. We're gonna keep one titty in. I don't know how they protested.
With picket signs in front, still dressed the same.
Still dressed naked?
No, like in bikinis and stuff like that.
Okay.
They got 4 stars on Yelp.
Yeah, but Yelp is trash.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was. Do not support these people. Dancers were great. Don't support this business because they have shown complete disregard for employee safety. So that's where all the 1 stars are coming from. Supporters.
Yeah.
And that feels like a good stopping point. Hey guys, support the hoes. Okay, of all types. Hoeing is the oldest profession in the world, and some people are better at it than others. Congratulations.
Oh wait, I've been here.
Ooh.
I've played pool at this place.
Oh yeah?
All right. Yeah, it was a fun time.
Yeah, but you didn't go back. And you didn't remember.
I mean, I remember being there. I just didn't remember that it was. I recognized the exterior because it's a very memorable exterior.
Yeah, see, the audience needs to understand. Rob is one of these people that seems very unassuming and very classy, but Rob was a wild motherfucker back in the day. Because Rob is my age. He look young and shit because he got luxurious hair and shit. But Rob is an old man. And about 15, 20 years ago, he was out in these streets. You understand that? He was out here.
With his luxurious hair.
Yeah, because think about how much partying you had to do to not remember that you played pool at a bar where it was titties out. I don't know what you saw to make you flash back and go, oh, damn, I've been in there. Because I'm looking at these.
Is the exterior. I remember this awful exterior.
Oh, okay.
It's like so for people who are just listening, I'll drop a picture for YouTube, but it's this hideous painted red exterior with like these Greek columns, yeah, I've been here.
What the fuck?
I'm way past my playing pool in a titty bar years. So
I feel like I'm in my prime playing pool at the titty bar years.
I think that's a good place to wrap it up.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, guys. Thanks for supporting the show. If you love it, if you like, share, subscribe, tell somebody about it. Buy something from one of the sponsors. All of that stuff helps the show. All right, y'all. See y'all next week.